lecha dodi, likrat la la, b'nei b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 lecha dodi.
B'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Lecha dodi, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Lecha dodi, likrat b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habaracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah.
Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah.
Hitorari, kiva orech kumi uri, shir daberi. Kivod Adonai alayich nikla la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Please rise. Boi v'shalom, ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzohala, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Chatzi Kaddish, page 144. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba, b'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala, uv'izman kahariv, v'yimeru. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam lo me'almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha, brichu le'ela min kol berachata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amihiran be'alma, ve'imeru. Amen. We turn to the handout for the series of partially Hebrew, partially English blessings and songs. Am I Awake is the version of Baruch Hu. Ma'ariv Aravim is Roll into Dark. Ahavat Olam, All the World Sings to You. And then we will, after All the World Sings to You, go back from the sheet and jump back to the Siddur, the prayer book, to page 152. But for now, Am I Awake, Baruch Hu, please rise.
into my prayer. Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Barucheku et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Roll into dark, roll into light. Light becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Light becomes day, day turns to night.
Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
Avad olam, Beit Israel, Amcha Avta. Avad olam, Beit Israel, Amcha Avta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves, the song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst, the song of the sea when waves are set free, the song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you, all the world sings to you, the world sings to you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malkuto, Laolam And thou shalt
Shall
love
love
Adonai thy God with all thy heart.
Please be seated.
And
With
all thy soul, and with all thy might, and all these words which I command to you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates,
and upon thy gates,
and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God,
unto your God,
unto your
unto your God.
God, unto your God.
The words to Miriam's song are found in the handout, but if you are with us on Zoom and do not have the handout, this is found in the Siddur, in the prayer book, in Mishkan Tefillah on page 646, page 646 of the prayer book, the words to Miriam's song. And I forgot the timbrel once again. I forgot the tambourine. Talia will be here with us in 2 weeks. I've packed it already, but I know where it is. So hopefully I'll bring it back when Talia is here on May 20th, assuming we...
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Now Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand and And all the women followed her, just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song. She sang with praise and might.
We've just lived through a miracle. We're going to dance tonight.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Mi chamocha ba'eli Madonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Yeshkoach, nicely done. We turn now to Hashkivenu. And one day, the words are printed in the handout as well. Except it says Hashkivenu and 1D. I don't know if that's a reference to the key or not. It's supposed to be one day, but there's a lacuna there.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'Adonu shamarenu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'Hamidenu shamarenu lechaim. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'Hamidenu shamarenu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'Hamidenu shamarenu lechaim. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving through, the waters are raging. And this space, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you away, away. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I'm never gonna let me down.
Negativity surrounds. I know someday it'll all, 'cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't
wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day,
one day,
one day,
one day,
one day, one day,
one day,
one day,
one day, one day.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'Hamidenu shamarenu
V'shamru, the commandment from the book of Exodus, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, and surely that is happening tonight with everybody other than the few of us at home. Clearly, the people of Israel are keeping Shabbat somewhere. Page 162 for V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל עד השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Beni uvein, Bnei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam, v'shamru.
בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz v'sham.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Uvayom hashvi'i, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, v'shamru.
בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The Amidah, the Tefillah, we begin on page 164 as we rise and we face the ark, or wherever you are. If you know in your own homes which way is east, which way is the direction of Yerushalayim, of Jerusalem, we face towards Jerusalem. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Aste Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'ezrat Sarah, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו. לשני עפר מחמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue in personal prayer, standing or seated, in Hebrew or in English. I call to your attention the English reading on 173 for a world in which the world is at war, for the time when our country is torn apart. If you choose to look at the English on 173 on the bottom. An abbreviated setting of Shalom Rav, page 178.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Emcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Emcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Emcha Tasim. Shalom Rav Yisrael Emcha Tasim Leolam.
We continue in personal prayer. For a world at war, a prayer for peace, page 180, Oseh Shalom.
Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom,
Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Mishaberach, Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim ha'ela. O God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, send your blessing and healing, your comfort and hope to all those whose names appear before us. And in addition to those names, or even including them if you would like, we add those of our loved ones, our friends, our family, who are ill and in need of healing. Paul Fiersig, Hank Fiersig, Maria Ferraris, Adela Gia, Jerry Silverman. Is there anyone else here for the prayer for healing?
For Melanie and Roy Lee.
Lisa Pomerantz.
Anyone on Zoom?
Tim McGaffick.
Lisa Pomerantz.
Lynn McAndrew, Alan Kossoff, Cyril Eck.
Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim, we praise you, O God, who helps us heal, who brings us comfort.
שברח אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing, Ritwefuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Will all three of you please help with the ark as we turn in a moment to Aleinu? But before we do, as you go towards the ark, there is something to do. First, we turn first to page 570. As we open the ark, page 570 is Sfirat HaOmer, the bracha, the blessing for the counting of the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedoshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaOmer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom Esrim ve'achat yom, shehem shlosha shavuot la'omer. Today is the 21st day, which is exactly 3 weeks of the Omer. We turn to page 586 on the bottom of the page for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוהר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As we close the ark doors, Shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal, u'shchinatu zo, begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu enod, emet malkeinu efes ulato, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men who wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give to them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds, Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children who need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We remember at this time those of our congregation's beloved whose yahrzeit occurs on this Shabbat: Batya Abadi, Elvira Benjamin, James Clayton, Alexandra de Azevedo, Mariam Mendes da Costa, Solomon de George, Delia del Valle, Leah de Pena, Judith Dorfman, Edith K. Embley, Stephen K. Embley, Rachel Lopez Fonseca, Gertrude Mandel Gentry, Samuel Gordon, Larry Hall, Rabbi Bernard Heller, Gabriel Enriquez Moron, Albert Enriquez Moron, Rose Herstick, Nancy Jacobs, Caroline Kimmelman, Morris Clayman, Ripka Hannah Maduro, M. Leonard Matt, Amalia Paiwansky Milner, Zina Paiwansky, Leonard J. Reed, David D. Rothbart, Abraham S. Sasso, Mordecai Sasso, Charles Solomon Schaefer, Marvin Stark, Jack Starr, Benjamin Werbel, Irene S. Zweigenhaft. We observe yahrzeit for the following high members and those dear to our high members: Isidore Azer, Jerome Ballas, Elsie Barrenfield, Irving Bauer, Ethel Berg, Morris Berman, Francis Black, Florence Braverman, Bess Chakrin, Rose Cohen, Charles Epstein, Rose Finkelstein, Lawrence Fried, Irving Friedel, Abraham Frumkin, Leo Gelber, Bertha Geller, Serena Gilbert, Arthur Goldstein, Elbert Green, Charlotte Harley, Howard Heller, Alan Kahn, Anna Kaplan, Isidore Kaplan, Marilyn Kaufman, Yvette Cruvant, Moises Kubeliun, Irving Cursius, Herbert Quate, Margot Levy, Beatrice Liu, Lena Liebman, Irving Lubin, Joseph Marcus, Slotnick Mitchell, Pearl November, Ruth Orlinsky, Rabbi Ostrovsky, Morris Peretz, Sandy Reese, Esther Rosenblum, Mildred Rosenzweig, Sidney Rubenstein, Helga Sachs, Philip Sachs, Max Sandhaus, Minnie Satinoff, Bob Savage, Ludwig Schwartz, Leonard Selig, Robert Schulman, Eleanor Simon, Shirley Steinbach, Morton Vogel, Doris Willens, Charles Wine, Francis Winland, Albert Wolfson, Tammy Yavitz. During this, with sorrowing hearts, we mention one who was laid to rest in recent days, Emmanuel Petillon. Is there anyone here to say Kaddish for somebody whose name I did not mention? Is there anyone on Zoom to say Kaddish for somebody whose name I did not mention?
Moshe Korn.
The memories of all of our loved ones are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn now to Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and as is the custom in most Reformed synagogues, we rise as a congregation as a whole for Kaddish Yatom, for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon uvyom echon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'rach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmeit kudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn the ending of the Kaddish. The words traditionally are Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, who makes peace for us, Va'al Kol Yisrael, and for all Israel. But in many Reform settings, we are adding the words V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, and for all who dwell on earth, extending our connections, our sense of shared human sense of loss and memory with all human beings and indeed to all creatures on the planet. And together let us say, Amen. We end with one more prayer for peace, this one in Hebrew and in Arabic. I always mess up the Hebrew and the Arabic part because I switch back, but we're going to do the best we can. The words to Od Yavo Shalom should in fact be in the handout somewhere. They are in the middle of the middle page. Od Yavo Shalom in Hebrew and in Arabic. And just don't let me switch back to, it's printed out the wrong way. I think it says Salam Shalom, but it actually should be Salam Salam. So, Od Yavo Shalom, may there yet be peace. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleichem, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat